If you've got 500 five-star reviews on Zillow, and if you've helped 3,000 families buy and sell a home, that's your co-brand and your stat. How to quickly get a lead to trust you. As you guys know, my whole motto, mantra, philosophy is stop chasing leads, start attracting clients. And building trust is a huge part of that. Why? Because what Zig Ziglar told us, if people like you, they'll listen. If people trust you, they will buy. Trust is a key ingredient to conversion. And if you think about the industry that we're in, meaning if you're a marketer, if you're a salesperson, most likely people don't like you. So what we're going to fill in today is what's called a co-brand and a stat. The way that you build trust with an internet lead is actually very simple. You put your brand next to someone they already trust. You put your brand next to a brand they already trust. And then with a statistic, you show them that you're an expert and that you've done this. You kind of wow them with some numbers. Co-brand and stat. So I learned about this technique at Quicken Loans. This is where I learned this. I had been using it, but I didn't realize it was so strategic because Quicken Loans was an internet lead provider. It was an internet mortgage company. We were talking to people we would never meet face to face. Nowadays, that seems normal. In 2007, it didn't. In 2006, it didn't. 2008. This is before people were comfortable doing this. So, fun fact, Quicken Loans is licensed. They bought the name with permission from TurboTax and Intuit. So Quicken is really a software that for decades people trusted before the internet really even took off. So Quicken knew that we were going to be talking to people that had no idea who we are. They knew people were going to be skeptical, so they aligned their business. It used to be called Rock Financial. They aligned their business with a trusted brand in the same space. I remember how many calls I had where I said, hey, are you familiar with TurboTax? Or, that's where the name comes from. And everybody knew who that was. So that's one example. If you look at the real estate industry, it's exactly the same. Sotheby's is a known household brand outside of even being a real estate company. They are obviously an auction house. Better Homes and Gardens is on every newsstand in every supermarket. Everyone knows what that is, so that's why Realogy decided to license the name. Sotheby's is a Realogy brand. They're licensing the name. Better Homes and Gardens, they're licensing the name. Even BHHS, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. People know Berkshire Hathaway. People know that's Warren Buffett's company. So these are the more specific co-brands in our industry. This would be the literal, like, you trust Sotheby's, we're Sotheby's Realty. But it's not always so simple. You also have a very big phenomenon in our industry around co-branding with an influencer. And I continue to see this happening, and I expect it to happen more and more, especially as influencers become micro-influencers and nano-influencers. Everybody can't afford Dave Ramsey's endorsement. Everybody can't afford to have Barbara Corcoran say they're great. Glenn Beck is not willing to endorse everybody. These are expensive and premium endorsements. Why is that? Because people already trust these folks and you're getting leads from them. They built the trust. So if you're a Dave Ramsey approved agent, if you're a Barbara Corcoran endorsed realtor, that has weight with certain consumers. I've even seen co-brands as large as sponsoring a sports team. This is the Duncan Duo. They are the official realtors. of the Tampa Bay Lightning, my friend and client, as well as my realtor, Veronica Figueroa. The Figueroa team is the official real estate agent of the Orlando City soccer team. So these are another way of sort of putting your brand next to known and trusted brands. If the Lightning signed off on the Duncan duo, they probably vetted them a little bit. They probably won't just work with anybody. That's another thing that these lead providers do. They actually vet the quality of the people they send the leads to, because in many cases they're charging a referral fee. So they have a vested interest in the lead converting just like you do. You could also, of course, pull this off a little bit less expensively, and maybe you co-brand at the high school. Maybe you co-brand with the soccer team. Maybe you co-brand with an NCAA athlete, now that that's legal. The other thing you want to co-brand with is the thing that people love the most, and I'll duck if you start throwing tomatoes, but the reality is that people love and trust Zillow. Zillow is synonymous with real estate in this country. I don't know how long that'll last, but that is just simply true. And so as an example, Zillow knows that it's almost like now they need a badge. They need kind of a custom branding, kind of like the blue check mark on Twitter. So now they have what's called Best of Zillow. And let me tell you, Zillow knows how to speak to a consumer so that they convert. Zillow knows what to actually say. So if you look at kind of the data that they put in, trustworthy, responsive, and knowledgeable. They have over a 90-point experience score. They are in the top 10% of Zillow Premier agents. You can see how they're using very specific data to quantify what it means to be the best of Zillow. If you've got 500 5-star reviews on Zillow, and if you've helped 3,000 families buy and sell a home, that's your co-brand and your stat. So don't look past people's favorite real estate website when you're trying to figure out what your co-brand should be.